if you travel internationally, I'm sure you've experienced this. Getting excited about going on a trip, possibly a vacation, going to a different continent. Once you land there, you're all excited, you're ready to get going with your vacation, and bam, it hits you. You're tired, a little bit of insomnia, possibly an upset stomach, i.e. you've got jet lag. We've all dealt with it. And there's nothing over the counter for dealing with jet lag, but recent studies have shown that our good friend exercise can help us combat jet lag. From beautiful Puerto Morales today on the Personalized Fitness Podcast. Good day and welcome to the Personalized Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Garrett Williamson, president of Personalized Fitness. Thank you so much for joining me today in, like I said in the intro, beautiful Puerto Morales, Mexico. Here, I'm on vacation here with my family. And actually it made me think about a recent trip that I took, because this one's not very big difference in time zone. We're only an hour away from where I am usually in Mobile. But I took one earlier this year and threw me into that whole jet lag. And I thought it'd be a fantastic topic for a podcast, especially since there's new studies on the topic. Before we get into it, I'm gonna tell you how to get in touch with the show. If you have any questions about this podcast or any others, or as always, if you have questions about dispelling myths of health, fitness, and wellness, please contact me at area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also reach me at my email address, which is Garrett, G-A-R-R-E-T-T, at personaledgefitness.com. You can reach me on our website, which of course is personaledgefitness.com. That is also our Facebook page. If you prefer, hit me up on Twitter at TeamPE. Now, like I said, this trip, not a big difference in time change whatsoever. So doing a 1 hour change, not that big a deal. Didn't have to do a whole lot of adjusting. Plus, I am on vacation, so if sleep was in the order, not a problem whatsoever. I can handle that. But I did have the pleasure of once again, for my 9th time representing Team USA in the Aquabike World Championships in Abu Dhabi, UAE, and also spent a little time in the Holy Land just after that. And that was a big difference in time change. And I experienced the same thing that I experienced when I've raced in other countries. In Denmark, back in 2017, actually did not lose consciousness prior to racing. Almost didn't sleep for almost 2 days prior to racing. Really having a tough time dealing with that jet lag. But like I said in the intro, we've got some recent studies that show that using exercise, in a rather interesting and comprehensive study, we can combat jet lag. All right, what is jet lag? What's going on there? Well, it deals with your circadian rhythms. Now, I've said many times on the show that the most intelligent machine you'll ever encounter is, of course, the human body. I mean, we've been studying it since the 1500s, still don't know everything about it. And it's rather incredible. It is. It can make you do amazing things, just like the brain can make you do amazing things, and it can actually hurt you. But since we still don't know everything about the body, and it's such an amazing machine, circadian rhythms is actually part of that. And that is actually processes, physical, mental, and biological, that go on in your body that keep it in some sort of a rhythm, some sort of a complete system. And your body gets attuned to certain patterns that you teach it through your lifestyle. I've talked about that with training your body to drink enough water. Most people, when I talk about increasing their water intake, think, oh my Lord, I'll be running to the restroom all the time. No, you can actually train your body. Your body learns these things and makes these adaptations. Does the same thing when you don't give it enough water. That's why it uses cravings to get you to get water, and on and on and on. And circadian rhythms is just one more thing that the intelligent body manufactures. The circadian rhythms are actually dictated a lot by light. Light and darkness help and send messages to this nerve cells in your brain that tell the brain, okay, I've got less light coming in, therefore it's getting dark, it's time to start releasing melatonin and get you to become drowsy. And so that's why light and darkness has a lot to do with dictating your circadian rhythms. I said at the intro that there's nothing over the counter to deal with jet lag, but they are doing some studies on that light and darkness things. They found that the retina, I hope I'm not totally incorrect about this, but it's in the eye, I believe it's the retina, releases another hormone called vasopressin. And it's also something that tells your body to get tired or what have you. And they're looking at, in the future, potentially having eye drops that you can use to combat jet lag, to actually change your circadian rhythm. But since there's nothing out there like that right now, we have to look to our good old friend, and of course my favorite, and that is exercise. As you can tell by the sweat coming down, it's a little warm out here, but it is no complaints whatsoever, especially without this, with this incredible view behind me. Now, exercise and dealing with jet lag and how it adjusts for your circadian rhythms. A professor by the name of Sean Youngston out of Arizona State University, is actually in the College of, actually Arizona State University in Phoenix. He's with the College of Nursing out there. He and his colleagues were asking these questions about, okay, if we change our exercise routines or change something about that, is there a way that we can affect the circadian rhythms? And so these researchers did a very interesting study where they took 99 subjects. It was, there were 51 of them that were over the age of, it was 57 to 89, and they were saying these were aerobically fit individuals. And there were 48 from 18 to 59 or whatever, 18 under that age or whatever in the younger age group. And all of them were somewhat aerobically fit. Now that's one norm that they use in the study that could throw off if you're not aerobically fit. But they studied these individuals. First thing, they got an idea of their circadian rhythm by tracking their melatonin levels and actually urine output, because they were tracking when their melatonin levels were spiking and decreasing throughout the day. Once they did that, they studied their exercise habits across, I think it was 8 different hours, I guess you'd say, 8 different hours, 8 different times during the day that they could actually exercise. And they found out something very interesting. And I'm tangling my words right now because the results were a bit confusing, but I'm gonna see if I can explain them to you. They were fascinating to me because it went along with the rhythm of how much, how often or when your body increases the amount of melatonin that it releases or decreases the amount of melatonin that it releases. What they found was that if you exercise, now exactly at these times, 7 a.m. in the morning or between 1 and 4. If you exercise at 7 a.m. or between the hours of 1 and 4, 7 a.m., 1 and 4 p.m. What that actually did, that actually changed your circadian rhythm to have you wake up earlier and go to sleep earlier. So it shifted your circadian rhythm to an earlier time. But if you were to work out between the hours of 7 p.m. and 10 p.m., that you could actually shift your circadian rhythms to wake up later and go to sleep later. And I thought it fascinating that it was at those exact times, because they actually found out that there were 4 or 5 times, and I don't remember all of them exactly. I know 1 p.m., 10 a.m., and there were 2 other times they listed. They were kind of interesting. They said if they exercised at those times, they made no change whatsoever in their melatonin levels. Therefore, they made no change whatsoever in their circadian rhythms. So I'm going to go back over those results real quick. Again, 7 a.m., working out at 7 a.m., and then working out between the hours of 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Once you landed at your locale, that local time, once you went into that new country, exercising at 7 a.m. or exercising at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. would move that circadian rhythm to an earlier time. Now, how does that affect you? That's best used, that scenario, 7 a.m., 1 a.m. to 4 p.m. That scenario is best used if you're traveling from west to east. So if you're traveling from west to east, once you get there, either at 7 a.m. or between the hours of 1 and 4 p.m., have your workout. And that will actually help you shift your circadian rhythm earlier. Now, I traveled to the Middle East, so when I went to Abu Dhabi, best thing for me to do when I got there is at 7 a.m. or 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. to adjust to that time frame was to get a workout in. When I was traveling back, coming from Israel actually, and traveling back to the States, it's better for me at that time to get a workout in once I got back to the States between the hours of 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. in order to shift my circadian rhythms back to that later time, the normal circadian rhythm when I'm in my bed. So, the workouts, I can't stress enough about this, because it seemed like when I was reading the study that you were actually going to work out at those times prior to leaving, and that would change you. It was better, they said, once you got into the country and operate at those locales. That's the study they had conducted, and where they said your circadian rhythms actually switched. I'm thinking, they didn't say this in the study, but I'm thinking if you actually tried to do that, preempt it, then you're going to throw off your schedule because of the light and dark sensations that you're going to have. Let's say you're going to start 2 days before trying to get ready. you're trying to shift your circadian rhythms. Well, you're still going to experience light and darkness by going to work or what have you, that is really going to mess your system up. So, and then also, like I said, they did this with fit individuals. So they aren't sure if this works with unfit individuals and what have you. Also, something interesting, they were asked about and they addressed the fact of how hard should you work out. You would think, okay, I want to go and make myself tired or something. I really want to get really labor intensive. And they said, absolutely not. It's actually the exact opposite. Since your body's going through a bit of stress by changing from one location to another, plus traveling is stressful, even if you're going for vacation. It's under enough stress, that can affect your circadian rhythms. So if you were to do a really stressful workout, it could possibly have the adverse effect. They recommended some yoga or take a bike ride around the area where you are, go for a walk, some kind of simple, low intensity exercise for you in order to make those kind of adjustments. Now, there's still a lot of research that needs to be done in this field, and eventually they may come up with something over the counter. But I'm glad that yet again, to make those nice physical positive changes in our body, we can use exercise to really change our life and enhance our vacations. Have any more questions about this particular topic, please feel free to contact me at area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also reach me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com, which is my email address. Also, personaledgefitness.com is our website and our Facebook page. You can also hit me up on Twitter at TeamPE. Adjusting for jet lag, using exercise to work on those circadian rhythms. One more way we help you reach your level of wellness. I'll see you next time, and I'm gonna go hit the water.